Welcome. This is the third in a series of videos demonstrating the use of two software packages, pfodDesigner and pfodApp. We're going to go ahead and we're going to load pfodDesigner. And on this one I'm going to start a new menu. Target serial is going to be Bluetooth Low Energy again. UART Friend, that's what I'm using. Now when you use pfodDesigner, it automatically assigns a menu name. It calls it like menu 1, menu 2, menu 3. And what we're going to do is we're going to change this menu name. See, it automatically assigned menu 2. We're going to call this pfodDesigner 2. Something a little more descriptive than menu 2. Okay, what we're going to do now is we're going to go ahead and we're going to edit the prompt. Edit prompt text. Prompt not set. So I'm going to be using two switches on this one. And I'm going to be using switch pulse width modulation as well. So I'm going to call this switches and PWM for pulse width modulation. Font color, I'm going to set navy. Background color, I'm going to set silver. Font size, we're going to increase that to 4. We got lots of room. And I'll set bold. Okay, if we preview that, we can see, yeah, everything looks the way I want. Okay, we're going to go ahead now and we're going to add a menu item. Now on this particular menu that I'm building, I'm going to be using two switches. One's just an on-off switch. The next one's going to be an on-off switch with basically a pulse capability. We're going to pulse an output for 2 seconds. And the third one's going to be pulse width modulation. So the first one we're going to select here is going to be on-off setting or pulse. Now I'm going to go ahead and set bold. I'm going to set a font color of, let's see, this one's going to be yellow. So let's go black on a background of yellow. I'm going to be using a yellow LED for this one. Now in order to save time, I'm just going to leave low and high as it is. And I'm going to connect this to a pin. We're going to connect this to pin 8. That should be all we have to do with that pin. That switch and pin. So I'm going to add another menu item now. I'm going to select on off again, switch. But this particular time, what I'm going to do is, well, we'll set the font color first. And I'm going to have green, so I'm going to go with white on green. That should show up pretty well. I'm going to have a green LED. Okay. Now we're going to hook this to pin 9. Good. And I'll set bold again. Now this particular one, what we want to do is we want to pulse it for, I'm going to pulse it for 2 seconds. So it says output is not pulsed. I'm going to say click here to change. So right here, we're going to pulse it high. And I'm going to set that pulse for 2 seconds. Okay. That one's all ready to go. I'm going to add another menu item now, and this time I'm going to select pulse width modulation. I'm going to select, set bold. This particular pulse width modulation setting now, I'm going to be using a red LED, so I'll set a background color of red. And something that'll show up real good on red. I guess I'll leave it, got white there now. That looks pretty good. Okay. The data variable range 0 to 255. We're not gonna change that because this microcontroller, the Arduino Uno that I'm using, is 8-bit. Is your output on your your pulse width modulation, 8-bit output, so 0 to 255. And the rest of the settings I'm going to leave just as they are. 0 to 100, percentage, so on and so on. What we're going to do now is we're going to go and hook this to pin 10. Okay, it's ready to go. Connected to pin 10. So we should be good to go there. We'll go ahead and we're going to generate code. Write code to file. Got that done, so we'll go ahead and we'll exit. That gets sent to your raw data, your text file inside your raw data folder. And we'll go ahead now and we'll transfer all this over to the laptop. So here we are over at the laptop. And what I've done is I've transferred everything from the tablet over to the laptop. And I've done a paste into the Arduino IDE. And if we have a look at the code now that was automatically generated with the pfodDesigner software, we can see these various variables here. Command A var, Command A pin, Command B var, Command B pulse start time, Command B pulse running, pulse length. This is in milliseconds, so 2 seconds. And Command B pin assigned to pin 9, Command C var, Command C pin assigned to pin 10. And that's about all we need to look at in terms of the variables here in this program. The rest is pretty much details, but something I pointed out when we did the first video is that this program, pfodDesigner, generates very nearly 100% of the code required. In this particular case, this program, it generates 100%. There's going to be no changes needed to this here particular program right here now to get it to run the way we want. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to upload it to the pfod device, the Arduino Uno, and we'll go over to the tablet again and see how everything looks and how everything works. So we're back at the tablet. I've uploaded the program into the Arduino Uno, the pfod device. I'm going to go ahead now and start pfod app. So there's your two switches, the yellow one and the green one, and then there's your pulse width modulation control there in red. And you can see in the lower left hand corner that I've set up 3 LEDs, yellow, green, and red. So the first one output, the first one output is low. That's going to be the top switch there, the yellow one. I mean, that's just an on-off switch. Now the second switch that we created, we asked it to pulse for 2 seconds, and then then it'll turn the light off. So let's see if that works. And there was your 2-second pulse. We'll do it again. Very good. And the pulse width modulation setting, well, this is a setting between like I said before, 8 bits, 0 and 255, and the brightness of the red LED will depend on the setting of the the setting here between 0 and 100%. Now this particular red LED is not that bright, so I'm not sure what the story is on that, but we'll have to check it and maybe use a different LED next time. But you can see it getting brighter and you can see it getting dimmer. So that's it for switches and for the pulse output on that one switch, and that's it for pulse width modulation for this video. What we'll do next time is we'll take a look at the actual refresh, the setting a timer so that this thing will refresh every 5 seconds. So until next time, thanks.